Yeah, it's $8, $8. The fuck going on, y'all? My bad, just had to sweep up. These birds be making a mess, man. I'm gonna give it some time, let folk come in. But what up, everybody? Hope everybody doing good. We chilling, we in the building. Yeah, stay blessed, man. You already, man. I'm gonna let them numbers come in and we'll talk. I wanna talk music, man. I wanna talk Drake albums, but all three of them. I listened successfully through three albums, but I like if you know music, you got to listen to songs over and over, either to catch what they're saying or to just fall for the music. You know what I mean? But Drake, shut up, Janice. I put it on one of my shorts. Um, that joint timeless, man. Timberland said it. I already been said it, but what up, folks? What up, Ethan? How you doing, man? You definitely first, Ethan. How you doing today, E? Hope everything good, man. Stay blessed, E. Yo, I'm gonna go get my, you know what I mean? I'll be back 2 seconds, E. I hope you had a good weekend, Ethan. Stay blessed, stay focused. You probably got class today, so that's what's up. And yeah, man, stay you, man. Never change, man. Um, all right, I'm just like fixing stuff, getting things organized. Another laundry day. But what up, Ethan? How you doing, pa? Who else is in the building? Yo, BZ. No class today. Let's go. Yo, Pai. My audio good, BZ? Ethan? I got sick this weekend. Damn, that sucks. What up, compay? Dímelo, dímelo. Yo, pai, I'm gonna hit you later. You already know. Mañana we gonna do the what we gotta do. You already. You know what I'm saying? But como está, primo? How you doing, pa? Miss you, my nigga. You already, man. We always had that this like, our relationship is built on like, you know what I mean, grown up shit, I always said. You know what I mean? Like we don't harp on old shit. It is like life is life, yo. But we never mean harm to each other. We know, you know what I'm saying? But what up, dímelo, compay? Yo, the Grizzatorius Rex, nigga. Yo, I want to talk Iceman. I want to talk Habibi. I want to talk, you know what I mean? These albums are fire, bro. And folks, you heard what's going on, Warren? Let's get them thumbs up. What up, folks? Yo, what up, everybody? You already know how I get down. It's $8, $8 random. We inside, we outside, we everywhere. You heard? I threw on the motherfucking Mr. Rogers. Remember Mr. Rogers used to change his clothes and change his sneakers, but always had like a sweater like that. What up, man? What up, folk? What's up, man? Yeah, ROBC. I'm gonna light this up for you, man. Everybody subscribe. Good looking, Elias. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. Look at my shorts. Enjoy. I got TikTok popping too, man, for this unk. Shout out to your boy, man. I hope everybody stay blessed and stay safe. Outside it's getting creepy, y'all. It's getting creepy. But what up, man? Mr. Rogers closed at the airport in Pittsburgh. That's fire, right? Yo, let me tell everybody, man. Drake new albums are fire. Credential. Let's talk about a credential. Usually my co-host, Nene D, she gonna come in soon. We got Black. We got a lot of folks. You know what I'm saying? But yo, if you truly listen to Drake, forget the drama, the beef. Just listen to those three albums exactly how they're supposed to be listened to. And yes, there's like a R&B one. The Iceman is that's the real album. I feel like Iceman. Uh, Shut the fuck up, Janice. Fire. I knew it. I put it on. Yo, I put that joint the day that he released his album. I put that in one of my shorts. I was like, this is gonna be fire, man. You know what I mean? So shout out to Drizzy. Yo, and then if you go to like YouTube, they got like how many people he dissed, and people are dissecting his lyrics already. And oh boy, they even put to tough for the radio or whatever. I forgot the name of that joint, but they put it with Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and it kind of goes with the. But what up, everybody? Hope everybody doing good. Maid of Honor is good too. I can work out with that one too. Yo, Maid of Honor is fire, bro. Yo, the first track, Rusty, and I forgot which. I think it's the Habib. Yo, woo, my nigga, my son's singing in like country type shit. I'm making weed right now. After that, I put in a joint and goes. Yeah, let's go, man. Everybody, if you're into this, shout out to my young audience. Do not get involved unless you're ready. You know what I'm saying? And I believe 17, 18 is a good age. But everybody, spark up, man. Let's get baby. But yeah, disclaimer: do not smoke marijuana if you're not of age. And I really think 18 because Folk don't understand. This ain't like a cigarette. This shit will create paranoia. If you haven't smoked ever and you think you're gonna be, nope, it's gonna fry you up, man. And stay away from edibles. Edibles always hit harder, everybody. I'm just telling y'all from me to you, you know what I mean? But what up, folk? We got the four thumbs up already. We talking our ish. Once again, the Drake album, in my opinion, if those three albums are really great projects. You know what I mean? He took his time, his due diligence. Folks still don't understand that 2025, they're like, yo, Drake ain't party next door. He dropped a joint with him. You know, folks, my Nokia song is fire to me. Who's calling my phone? Who's calling my phone? Yo, who's calling my phone? Yo, shout out to Drizzy, bro. Shalawadi weed. No, no, no. It's very expensive weed in India. No, my brother, I don't know that. You know what I mean? Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Shout out to all my Indians, my IDBs. But wallah, that's what's up. Thank you for letting me know that, though. Shalawahi. Yeah, man. I heard it before, you know what I'm saying? So that's that fire. That's that fire, fire. But yes, everybody, we're discussing Drake album. I'm gonna go inside. We're gonna play some music. Yo, Papo, how do I play music without it going like I it's copyright, right? Or is it because it's on YouTube I could use it as like somebody said that. That's why reaction videos happen, right? Because they utilize that little loophole in the YouTube thingy. But what up, folk? Once again, if you haven't listened to Drake's three albums, start with Iceman, then Habibi, then Maid of Honor, or whichever order. I think you should do Maid of Honor first, and then Habibi, then end with Iceman. That's a dope ass little flow. And I'm making Shalat weed right now, and it goes to high. Yo, that's what's up, brother. That's what's up. Yo, good afternoon, Frank. What's poppin', pa? How you doing, man? Where you at in this earth? Frank, where are you, pa? Just stay safe. You already know. Once again, random. I talked about how there's a building complex that are charging their tenants $85 to open to a subscription base to open up their doorknob. That is getting crazy. Gas in California right now, the average is about 618 to 638, which is crazy. It's about $7 a gallon in Los Angeles, almost close to 8, 9. You in Mexico City? Yep. You safe, pa. You safe. You know what I mean? You know, brother, we feel very hungry. Have you ever got this? Yes, yes. It's called it builds appetite. That's why in the year 2000 I was going to be a lawyer, so I had to take speech class. And one of my speech in front of the class, I chose they said choose something that has pros and cons, and I chose the legalization of marijuana. And in 2000, we was looked at like you was smoking crack, boy. So I did my due diligence. I did a project, and I proved, and it said that factual that it builds appetite for those that have cancer, AIDS. You know, they utilize it to and people who have seizures. I remember one of the beautifulest thing was a boy that used to get seizures. They give him a little like edible, a pill or something, and it shakes it off right away. So there's a lot of benefits with marijuana. We just need the scientists to do their due diligence and look into it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Yeah, that's what's up, man. What's biryani? Is that rice with meat or something? That's what's up, man. Where you from? You from the Rupsik, Bass set out beast. Where you from, man? But thank you for coming to my, you know what I mean, my channel. I appreciate you. Subscribe, India brother. That's what's up, man. You know what I mean? I always got like I look very Middle Eastern and very, you know what I'm saying? So I always, like I said, man, you should never hate on a culture you don't know. You know what I mean? A lot of folk do that in life. They don't know nothing about somebody else, but they want to freaking dictate how they live, how they are. You know what I mean? Go speak to somebody, figure it out, and then you'll understand what they're doing and how they're living. And a lot of countries and a lot of places in this world don't demonize marijuana like that. That's a great segue. We could talk about it. You know what I mean? And that's another great way to start listening to this Drake album is by peace and that's what the Indians with the peace pipe. You heard? Actually, I heard they were smoking like DMT and something wild. But shout out to the my American Indians, man. Last day of school this week, Thursday. That's what's up, Ethan. You at the finish line. Shout out to all my young viewers that are about to graduate or just head on to the next year. You know, you put in that work. Now it's time to really put your feet down and grind a little bit harder. Get to that place where you're getting a full scholarship to various colleges. That's what you want to reach for, is not making your parents pay, right? So shout out to everybody using their mind, because that's a beautiful thing. You don't want this to go to waste. Trust me, you see how it's going out there. Folks don't know how to read. Folks are bumping into signs. It's getting crazy, man. Yes, man. Bongs. Yes, bongs in New York and America. We definitely like bongs. My boy Beezy, he likes one hitters. He had this one cool one that looked like a cigarette pack, and it was a one hitter. You know what I mean? He had one that looked like a highlighter, and you popped it off. And so because if you don't know New York, you could literally ruin your life just because you were smoking that plant. And you could have just had a dub. Yo, a dub of weed, they would have brought you to the precinct and went made you go through and mind you, when you go through the system, that's money that taxpayers pay for. Understand that the meals that these prisoners are eating, that's taxpayers' money. You understand? That's why a lot of subsidiaries, a lot of other programs get burnt because they gotta feed this monster that they created. You know what I mean? Why you think they starting to smack hands on certain things that you do in life now? You know what I mean? The jails are full. They put a lot of folk away for dumb reasons too, man. But yeah, bongs are very dope, man. Is that one hitter? Usually you put water in it and you get this, you pull that. Oh, what's going on here, man? And that hits you like no other. Back in 1994, 95, my cousin created a gravity bomb. Actually, it was like 96, 97. So if you don't know, you get a 2 liter. You need one of these little the little bowls, right? It's a little bowl that had like, so you make a little incision or hole on top of the top, and you put that thing in there. You screw it. You cut the half. Now the half that has that bowl, you fill up with weed, get a bucket of water, and once you push it down into the water, that thing shoots right into your lungs, man. It's called a gravity bong, and yes, that used to take me to the next galaxy, man. So shout out to shout out to weed, man. Me and BZ, me and my peoples, we always stuck with weed. We knew what time it was. We knew how harmful other. First of all, we didn't promote or accentuate. Not we didn't we didn't I guess promote. We didn't make it look cool, bro. Like we used to say, if you was doing crack, you was a crackhead. You know what I mean? If you was doing heroin, what you doing, bro? You wait. Even alcoholics, we took it hard on. You understand me? Like, yo, stop drinking far too much. You won't be an alcoholic, man. We used to look out for folk. Can you rap? Very little, man. You know what I'm saying? In my heyday, me and BZ, who's my producer, used to try to rap. You know what I mean? We tried. You know what I mean? But here we go. Use a winner 456 when shooting the dice, man. Yo, shout out to my nigga Drake giving us Ice Man. That's a Marvel ish. You don't want to play around, yo. Whatever. But yeah, man. You know what I mean? I hope everybody does good, and whatever you choose, you know what I mean? That's the most, I think, the most beautifulest thing ever is when we grew up, we had to stick to a path. You couldn't really have dreams or yo, I'm gonna just go straight to rap, right? You like I don't know. Like I'm happy that folks could choose now, you know what I mean? And actually make money, right? Shout out to streamers, shout out to rappers, shout out to just people who just hustling, getting it to their way, even fashion designers, when we grew up, they had a lot code on fashion design, it wasn't cool to wear one of your man's joints, you know what I'm saying? It was weird. But yeah, man, shout out to that, man. Quote of the day: life only as good as you mindset. A negative mind will never get you a positive life. That's a fact. Mushrooms are better. That's a fact too. Bro, answer my question. Read above, bro. Oh, wait. Sorry. Have you ever tried weed in Chalam? No, I haven't. I haven't tried the weed in Chalam. Anybody tried the weed in Chalam? I'm sorry, brother. I got you. I got you. Can you flex your necklace? Yeah, man. Yo, so one of my favorites. Forget the gold. Forget the. Yo, I got a scorpion in my joint, y'all. And if you put the light to it, it glows in the dark at night. You know what I mean? But what up, folks? You know what I mean? I'm chilling, maintaining. This is 8 minutes in. I take the glasses off.
No, 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 no. Talk to me, Chalam. Is that like a type of plant? Is that like a different way of of smoking it? I'm thinking Chalam might be like a plant or something, like a different leaf. But talk to me. Let me know, man. You know, wallah, I love to learn. You know what I mean? But shout out to me. You know, I give myself my own haircuts. Sometimes I mess up. Sometimes they come out. I then from Dyke, man. See, I always know how to fade this side better than this side. I don't know why, but whatever. I ain't paying the 50 out here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have a barber too. You know what I mean? You gotta know. You gotta get a barber. You can't just let anybody cut your hair if you're a guy. You know what I mean? Need a little mota in your life. What's that? Talk to me, Frank. You know what Shalom is? But yeah, man, Drake album, all three of them joints was popping. I listened to them, you know, Iceman a lot. I love the flow of the first almost six tracks. Like, you know, then you hit Janice, then you hit the joint with Future, and then yo, Little Birdie, that's my joint. Shout out to Little Birdie if you don't know. You know what I mean? Then he got the hits, you know, he had the joints that, you know, he put out already, but even the one with that Triple C dude, Centra C, you know, from UK. What up, brother? It's blazing out in Jersey, 90 today. What up, Tat? How you doing, pa? Hope everything's good with you, man. Yo, one of the most beautifulest, like I say, I hate putting out, but all I'm gonna say, Tat, I liked one of your videos and wow, beautiful. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Everybody, if you don't know, go to Tat's page. You know, just engage with him. Is a different page, you know what I mean? And we need that. But we also are networking, you know what I mean? But shout out to Tat, everybody. Mota is a weed in slang Spanish. Oh, ¿cómo está, Frank? Mota, dame la mota, man. Ahí en Nueva York, alguien dije, yo, dame marijuana, compa. You know what I mean? It's weird, right? Like, remember, like, you ever seen this, like, in Spanish? Like, sometimes they never made a word for that. So they'd be like, yo, ¿cómo está? Yo está jugando con mi amigo and está business. And you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like an English word, but I love my heritage. I always say it when I was Puerto Rican that I was more than the Boricua, meaning I was more Latino. I didn't like the I don't like when we put names on things because there's certain, especially with Latinos, a lot of sometimes we think we're better, or people think because we're the Commonwealth that we have a up. It's like no, todo gente son Latino. We get treated lo mismo. You know what I mean? We get abused the same. They call us Mexican. They call, you know what I mean? That is above that world. But shout out to my Latinos, man. Shout out to Mota, man. Thank you, Frank. I said about Chalam, bro. Read above. No, I'm asking, yo, what is it? What is Shalam? Is it Tell me, explain to me how you smoke Shalam weed. Who is your favorite rapper, bro? Harold, I'm reading everybody. I'm trying. Shalam is a pipe. Oh, hungry. Thank you. Shalam is a pipe. So no. Yeah, we smoke pipes, but I never smoked a Shalam. I'm gonna be honest. My favorite rapper, I always go drum roll. I'm gonna go Drake, man. I'm gonna go Drake, man. My favorite, because look, I think about it like years when, because I'm a real music listener, right? You know what I'm saying? Because once again, New York City, I took the train. I didn't have a vehicle a lot of times in my life. You know what I mean? So I would listen to music. Music was my getaway, let's just say. And a lot of times I was homeless, dealing with raising a child. It's very, sometimes it's overwhelming for a man, but like, I'm 44 and I always smile because I made it, right? Sometimes when you think you're at the lowest you are in your life, you're like you're willing to give up. And I think that's the trick, right? It's some give up, go to drugs, go to death, go to jail, and others just stick through, right? Something in back of your mind is telling you it's going to get better. It has to. I'm not a bad person, really. All I do is defend myself. I try to keep it like that. I'm not egotistical. I don't attack. I'm very funny. I love laughing. I love bugging out. I I'm old school, so maybe I roast a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? My friends really know, like, I roast, but it's just all good and fun. Cause at the same time, they be like, Swiss beats, look at your nose, nigga. And I take it, right? I eat it, right? So shout out to doing that. You know what I mean? Can I join you in your live stream, Tyrone? Yeah, man. You're here. You're joining, man. I don't know if you want to do like a co-hosting one day, but Tyrone, you in the building, sub to me. I'm a sub to you. That's how it goes. And stay humble. That's a fact, Harold. I appreciate you, Harold, for real, man. I think you've been here before, but yo, thank you. I wish you had 1.5 million subscribers, bro. before this year end. And when it happened, please help the others. I promise I will, Harold. That's the thing, man. You could actually tell genuine folk. You know what I mean? Once again, I use these glasses for the audio. These are the Gen 2 metas. I don't want people to think I'm fly. I usually, I wear the shiesty just to get the trolls out the way, because they always assume stuff. But once we get that and we start rolling, you know what I mean? Our conversations are just great. You know what I mean? Let's just say that. I have to explain, bro. Read above. I got you. I got you. I said about your land, bro. Okay, okay. I got you, B. I got you. Wallah, I got you. Quote of the day. Bro, answer my question. Okay, Chalam is a pipe. Who is your favorite rapper? I gave it to Drake. What up, brother? It's blazing out. Tat, what up? Love you, man. Moda is weed. Thank you, Frank. Love you too, man. I said about Chalam, bro. Read. I got you. I have explained, bro. Read above. I got you. I got you. So yeah, I smoked out of a pipe before. You know what I mean? If that's the question, yes. I don't know if a Chalam is a different type of pipe, but me and my buddies, yeah, we smoked. You know what I mean? You get the pipe, you ba ba ba. You know what I mean? Because in New York or in let's just say America, when there was a foothold on marijuana, like they classified it A class with other drugs like coke, heroin, speed, real shit. And I'm not saying marijuana ain't real, you know what I'm saying? But the plant in itself is just, if even if you don't smoke it, you could utilize it to do a lot of things, a lot of helpful things for the human. Mind you, Earth always gives us what we need. We don't need anything more. You don't need fucking chrome heart jeans that cost 30,000. You don't need a phone that you could call fucking aliens on the moon. We just need to go back to basic Wrangler jeans, white tees, maybe a nice little chain, and just keep it pushing, man. You know what I mean? But thank you, babe. So that's a chalam. All right. So yeah, I smoked out of a chalam. Stay humble. Thank you, Harold. Everything's possible, you know. Yeah, yo, bro, I promise you, if you keep coming back, and you have, you know what I'm saying? But I always try to keep my level where it's at because it's not play. That's why I do my shorts. Like, yo, this is me off cameras, on cameras. It is what it is. I'm Zay Dollar, right? But I'm aiming for this, man. I'm manifesting this positivity. I want to take everybody with me, and I want everybody to know, yo, there's people out there like me, man. We might not look the same. We might not dress the same. I think mind you, they do this on purpose. They separate us from down to how you wear your underwears, man. One of the funniest things I saw was somebody said, "I love pancakes," and under his thing was like, "What you got beef with waffles?" Or like, yo, you can't just say something no more. Everybody got a hawk on your every word. So that's why I always emphasize words being as powerful as they are. And yeah, you can manifest things, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, Harold. That means a lot. A lot of times I'm coming here and I see folk that come in and then inspiring words, and it's like, yo, I'm doing this for a reason, right? Like I'm doing this for a purpose. My words ain't gonna go out there and just hit the stratosphere. We hitting ears, listeners, you know what I mean? And we all feel the same, man. This world is changing for the different. This world is playing with our pocket money now. You know what I mean? And we have to stand together. United we stand, united we fall. And we can't be wish-washy no more. We just got to be humanity now. You know what I mean? We got to start protecting our animals, start investing in land, start doing things the right way. They tricked us with the Starbucks coffee, with the Labubus, with the PlayStation 5 that costs freaking $1,000 now, right? It's like everywhere you go, man, they trying to get us. What up, fan Bob? Yo, talk to me, man. One of my favorite tracks from Iceman, Drake's album, is Shut the Up Janice. And then like I said, I like Little Birdie. It follows down. But what up, fan Bob? Did y'all hear Drake 3 albums? Y'all know who was how was your ranking? Yo, once again, if it's a tail of 10 stars, even if let's do 5 stars, I give it like almost 4.5, 5, man. These are mind you, we're from the era where people have dropped double albums. People have dropped multiple, consecutive albums, right? DMX was one of the first rappers to drop a double album in a year or 2 albums that both went platinum. DMX holds that reign, right? But Drake there's been many 17, 16 summers. He has. I posted the picture on my page of all his albums, and you could find a track that you like from each of those albums. You know what I mean? Either a Rihanna joint, a Future joint, a DJ Khaled joint, a Lil Wayne joint, Nicki Minaj joint, a Young Thug joint, Gunna joint. Like, he worked with so many artists, and when the Kendrick thing happened, he saw who was really in his corner, man. You don't, just because somebody's winning, start D-Rodding. It's like that dude that has a closet full of like jerseys, and whoever team is popping, he's like, yeah, man, yo, let's go, OKC. And then they lose, and he's like, yep, let me, where's my Spurs jersey? Yeah, David Robinson throwback, holla. You know what I mean? So just stand on those, man. But Drake album was dope, man. If you listen to it for real, I want everybody that's in this room right now to really listen to those albums. If you have Spotify, jump on there, you know what I mean, and listen to your Drake albums. But listen to them without, bias. Listen to them without like already jumping in it like, yo, this shit sucks already, right? Clear your mind and give him a clean slate. And I promise you, from beats to what he's saying to just certain, even the rookie, the rappers he did put on the album, is a great project, man. It really is, man. I appreciate it. Let's just say that. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Harold, good looking, man. Talking about smoking, and I'm actually smoking a brisket. Need 4 more hours to go. Damn, that shit gonna taste amazing, man. That shit gonna taste amazing. Did y'all hear? But yeah, man. The That's all I mean, is like sometimes we just have to, because even look, when Not Like Us came out, yeah, that was a catchy joint and it was dope. It almost reminds me of Meek verse when Back to Back came out. You automatically jumped on it. Even with Nas and Jay, Jay was kind of losing, if you ask me. And a lot of folks say Ether destroyed it, but Ether was a little too not radio friendly, and Takeover was, right? So, you know what I mean? But yo, if you ask me, Nas beat Jay-Z that back then, you know what I mean? I don't care how many condoms you left on that baby seat. Nas caught you with Ether, homie. You know what I mean? But the game is to be paid, not, played. Right? Like, but that's why I like where music is at now. And another thing I noticed, I was going to Drake's songs, right? And they were in like 300,000, 400,000. But these are like no bots no more. These are live folk. And then, 2 days, a day later, it was like 2 point something. So I was like, there you go, Drake. You got your mills. You know what I mean? But I never seen an artist release an album, literally have a song for each, I mean, a video for each song, and then his rollout was just amazing. Let's just say. I wonder if his rollout was like 5 mil, right? Some crazy joint, 10 mil. You know what I mean? Because mind you, he put the ice over there in Toronto. He drove. Yo, the dopest thing is his videos all match. It is like a documentary. Like, he's driving the truck, and when it ends, the other video starts where he opens the door and he's like, "Yo, it's crazy, man." Shout out to Drake, man. You know what I mean? A lot of folks are like misunderstanding music. We weren't into it because you were the hardest drug lord or whatever. We just wanted good music. That's why back then your your resume mattered, but it, like, you know, your resume wasn't put out there either though, right? Like, we just knew you was all right, Fat Joe. We know behind the scenes you was really slapping motherfuckers and hitting niggas over the head with bottles, right? So there were certain rappers we knew, but other than that, we wasn't looking for that in Mace. We wasn't looking for that in like really Cameron or Dipset. Like, we knew they got busy, but we didn't. We just wanted music, good music, timeless music. And I think that's where the kids got messed up. Shout out to Little Yachty. Shout out to folk that just are them, right? Rest in peace, Mac Miller, one of my favorite guys, man. I like that little white boy. I really did. That little dude, from where he was, ended up with Ariana Grande, man. So shout out to Mac Miller if you don't know. But yeah, man. Yo, what's going on, Dallas Jerry? How you doing, pal? You know what I mean? Give me some time. I'm talking mine, but I'm reading everybody's joint. But what up? How you doing, Harold? Once again, Beezy, Frank, Fan Bow, man. We all in the building. We talking hours about the Drake albums, you know what I mean? And yeah, we always throw in life, it's random out here, you know what I'm saying? We inside, we outside, we everywhere, man. But yeah, man, it's a great one, man. Once again, I just came back a week ago from Cali to Atlanta, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? We drove it back and forth. So my energy is back, I'm climbing. Yesterday, random, guess what I saw yesterday, y'all? Mortal Kombat Part 2. Yo, Shao Kahn was in there. Yo, yo, and my wife is looking at me like, yo, you's a kid. And I don't think, look, in the 80s, this is where I was born, right? So by the time 90s came around and Mortal Kombat was released in 94, 95, right? This is during Street Fighter holding the reign, different games, Virtual Fighter and Tekken were coming out. But there was this game called Mortal Kombat that came out that allowed you to do stage fatalities, beat up the opponent even more after the match ended with a fatality. So you grew up with this Mortal Kombat, man. And I remember having Genesis with the Mortal Kombat, and it almost looked like, the arcade, right? So the movie was actually fire. Frank, I ain't lying, man. That movie was dope. And I like that they uh maintain the course of the game. Like it really is matching, you know what I mean? There is no Hollywood. Yo, Noob Saigot. Noob Saibot is in the game. If you don't know, Noob is Ed Boon, his name reversed, and Tobias whatever Sabbath. So Noob Sabbath is a guy that is their name. Yeah, it's fire, man. I love the history behind Mortal Kombat and the fact that it withstood almost 40, 50 years, man. That game came out in like 90, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to that, man. Bro, the higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. That's a fire line, Dallas. That's a fact. What up, Dallas? How you doing, pa? I hope everything is good in your life, man. Happy Mama Day to everybody's moms. You know how I give it, you know what I mean? I got my bird feed in the back. Birds are eating great, you know what I mean? And I take care of the cat. I'm just having like once again, I'm being me, living, positive is like I love it. You know what I mean? I love it. You can tell I smile a lot, right? But what up, folk? How y'all doing, man? Hope everybody living good. But that's what's up, Dallas. That one's a good one, man. That one hits, you know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what it is, man. The higher you soar, man, those with toxicity, those that want to hold your talons, your legs, right? When you up there, man, they like that, man. You know what I mean? So it don't matter how much the dog barks, it's the bite that matters, man. It don't matter how much you could belittle me, but in the game of life, are you winning, right? A lot of folk talk a good one, man. A lot of folk talk a good one. And they hide a lot of skeletons in their closet, claiming this, using their mom's credit card, claiming that, pots paying off the whip, rent is paid, like certain things, and folk be taking it, yeah, I do that. Stop it, Five, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody that really does it, everybody that works hard, everybody that gets to, the little pennies they try to give us. But yeah, man, we know what time it is out there. But what up, folk? I hope everybody doing good. Once again, Drake albums of fire. STFU Janice is one of my hardest joints. Teach me, baby. Beat, beat, baby. Yo, it got a nice little lingo, man. And to that Rusty song that like yo, and even Dusty with his son in the music video. Yo, if you don't know Shane Gillis, can everybody follow this man? Shane Gillis, he's a comedian. I believe he's from Buffalo, New York, but he's from New York side. Shane Gillis, this man makes me laugh. That's why I never played I don't care the color you are. Like, yo, man, if you make me laugh, if you make the good music, I don't give a damn, man. You know what I mean? As just give me entertainment so, what we living in could go by. You know what I mean? Cause damn, outside, like for real, outside is getting loco, man. Gas prices is about 640 in Cali right now. Meanwhile, we did the road trip and we saw 349. That's $3 extra that we have to pay for the same gasoline. It's strange how California just uh you know what I mean? And a lot of folk are carpooling, a lot of folk are not even driving no more. The roads are getting emptier. It's bugged out, man. Bro, choose one, Justin or J. Cool, and why? Hmm. I go Justin because that's I named my son that Justin. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go Justin, man. And yeah, I'm gonna just say it like that. Primo, what up, cheeseburger? Spurs, Knicks versus Cavs tomorrow, and Spurs. Yo, Frank. Once again, y'all, my co-host when it comes to sports. Frank, shout out to Frank, everybody. Yeah, man. The Knicks are in it. We still in it, baby. And it's dope because I was posting videos about Knicks stuff because I believe like 2 years ago when they were in it, when they advanced to the semi or the next one. I think they got booted. But long story short, the Knicks were wilding, man. Like, fans were climbing stuff. It was dope. It was dope. It was a good time. But folk don't understand that. Like, sometimes I see like the NBA is not getting viewers. It's like, yo, everybody, please start watching basketball. Please start watching your sports because if your team tanks, that team leaves the city, right? And I don't know if you know, but for morale, like sometimes you go to a sports game and let's say, for instance, you're in New York and you're rooting for the Knicks. Being in that garden, in that building, the energy you feel, there's something about sports that really do alleviate the elevate a city's, you know what I mean, morale. And I think that's like back then. That's why they had like the gladiators in the Colosseums fight. It was like, yo, you came from your area versus this dude from mine, and let's see who, you know what I mean. And yeah, so it's dope, man. It's dope. But yeah, man, the New York Knicks, man, it would be a wonderful thing because since 1986, when the Knicks last won a chip, mind you, they were in it when they lost to Chicago Bulls when Patrick Ewing wanted to do a layup. Christy, what up, Christy? Everybody, Christy in the building, man. Hi, Christy. How you doing, man? Hope you had a great weekend. Thank you for responding to my shorts. I always appreciate you. But what up, Chris? You got my respect, bro. Harold, good looking, man. Yo, what up, cheeseburger? Boricua, pai. I'm going to Spurs and Knicks in finals, Frank. I believe it, man. Yo, shout out to Frank. Yo, you live great, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, out of sight, out of mind, right, compadre? Hold this hug, man. Hold this hug, my G. But yeah, man, we already know what time it is. Knicks Spurs, man. You know what I mean? Nice to see you all. What up, Christy? But yeah, basketball talk, man. I'm telling folk, you need a sports team in your city for morale. Let me tell you, when LeBron James raised up Cleveland, Akron, Ohio looks different now. Like he really brought money. People don't understand that. Mind you, what does a sports stadium do? It provides a lot of jobs for a lot of folk in one building. Check. It gives people something to do on the weekends when they had a long days of work. Check. Um, if you win the chip, you get to rub it in your man's face. Check. So there's a lot of things that come with having a team in your district and rooting for them. You know what I mean? It's almost like college. Yo, kids in college take that team shit to the heart, man. For real, for real. And I love that um you don't see that many fights though. I know you probably are now, but back in the days, Michigan, Ohio State, they both and they go home, have a good night, and then the next day, right? But yeah, man, did you see like Allen Iverson back in the day? Hell yeah. I still got his jersey. Word the mother. Number 3, man. Allen Iverson played for the Philadelphia 76ers. He was drafted in 1996. You know what I mean? And he was the man in 1997 that hit Michael Jordan with a double crossover. Hui, and Jordan was like this, cha 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 chi chi cha 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 cha, and then he stops and pulls up. But yo, if you don't know, there's a battle rapper named Murder Mook. He always references this. He goes, everybody talks about AI's crossover, and you know his name. But Michael Jordan scored 36 and the Bulls still won that game. And I love the way he did that because we all remember that crossover, but it would have been dope if AI won that game. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, shout out to Allen Iverson. How about the and one mixtapes family? Let's talk about it. Skip to Malou. There was a basketball player that really was engaged with the college, really was engaged with his his fundamentals, but they called him Skip to my Lou because he would come down with his legs up, skipping to the Lou. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Shout out to Skip to my Lou, man. Shout out to Skip to my loop. My bad. I just bumped over some shit. Let me just take off my sneakers. All right, all right, all right. We back. We back. I'm gonna like this, and then we're gonna go inside and just conversate. How about? But the and one mixtapes, if you guys don't know, back in the days, there was a bunch of players that were really good in the antics of street ball, right? Shout out to Professor. Professor still has a channel that still gets its numbers, but he goes around and he does his wild moves, man. Shout out to Professor. But if you don't know, the number one name everybody used to know was Hot Sauce. There was this kid from, I forgot where he was from. He was like, his life was like, just had a baby, I think, you know what I mean? And these guys go to a park and see this kid cooking, and he's the one that will put the basketball in his shirt and then spin it around. He was the one that, like, his crossover was nasty. Um, bounce the ball off your head. Boom! Oh! So shout out to Hot Sauce, man. He was really one of them ones, man. But this is what I mean, how weird we are now. We used to be so supportive with Americano stuff. Like, who they? What up, who they? Yo, I'm not lying. Think about it like this. Back in the days, Fubu, and one mixtapes, Echo. We used to really like indulge with our country. We never thought about Louis Vuitton, Gucci, even if we had the bread, because we knew those were European stores. That money goes to the European dude. So we got to stop buying these high-end joints and start supporting our, like, Wrangler, Levi's, and go figure Levi's really was the best jeans. I saw China buy like a footload of old Levi jeans to send them back over there because that material was good material, man. Shout out to Levi, man. That sounds fun, actually. RDA. I've never done that. What up? And yeah, man, you spin facts, bro. What up, who they? Yo, we got the fire hydrants open almost 100 degrees in the next year. Let's go, RDA. That's my boy. Yeah, man. How you doing, pa? That's a fact. That's a great segue, man. Do y'all remember being little kids and you maybe couldn't go to the pool or maybe not the beach or something, but they would damn sure open up that hydrant and let the kids get, wet and get cooled down, right? And it would make that block cool. And then the cars passing by would raise their windows up. It's like a free car wash. Good looking, bye. Yo, dímelo. ¿Qué pasó? Yeah, man. Yo, starter and champion. Yo, and yo, who they? I'm not lying, right? Like that's exactly what I'm talking about. Even Tommy Hill was a Timber. Like there was a lot of things we were doing. No, actually, Timberland is Italy, but there's a lot of things that we were buying that was really, making our Americano, economy really go. We send a lot of money to Louis Vuitton, rappers, 20, 30, 40 bands on a, pair of jeans or whatever. It's just weird, you know what I mean? That's why I used to like, if you don't know, there was this guy in Harlem that would have like a suitcase, Louis Vuitton suitcase. He would cut it up and then put it, the dope boys would have a lot of his joints. You know what I'm saying? Like Rich Porter and all them, you know what I'm saying? Alpo and them guys. But I forgot his name. Dapper Dan or something like that. Franco's Jabal. Yup. Yo, folks don't know, remember DKNY, Darren Karen, New York, DKNY, man. And DKNY used to make dope joints, man. I don't know where Guess is from, but yeah, DKNY, we had a lot of cool joints. But yeah, man, Dapper Dan, man, he used to cut pieces of Louis Vuitton or Gucci and put them on shoes and put them on. He knew how to finesse the stitching, right? He knew how to what's that called with the fabric and shit. A seamstress. Like he was like a seamstress. He knew how to, you know what I mean? But that must have been dope. Like buying a jacket that was, but then he threw on yeah, what up, yo? I got the Louis Vuitton. Yeah. Eh, The no fear stickers, facts, man. But that I'm telling you that like folk really don't get when you buy these foreign cars or foreign, you know, Gucci, Balenciaga, and they don't even say the right name, you know what I'm saying? Louis Vuitton or whatever the name is, man. Berber, like that money go over there, man. You know what I'm saying? And those pieces cost a lot of money. I saw that stupid airplane. Not whatever. No disrespect, Louis Vuitton, but it's dumb. It's an airplane. It costs 35,000, and it's like a bag that looks like an airplane. But the thing is, the only zip is up a little bit. Like the whole thing is like a plane, so you can only have a little whatever. I don't understand why you want to walk around with a plane. You know what I mean? A fanny pack is good for me. What happened to? And that's the thing. Like I noticed that they named that the fanny pack on purpose, so it had this weird. That's why we call it a satchel now. We like that's not a fanny pack. That's a satchel, my G. Throw that shit across, man. Hold all my items, man. But there definitely was a time period where we was definitely into purchasing where we think we buying these stupid ass fucking shoes and this that Prada and who the fuck cares, man. First of all, America's different than over there, man. You get dirty over here. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be wearing some $30,000 shit and then you get a stain on it. Most of this America is desert and country and dirt. Fuck you looking goofy wearing some $50,000 shoes for, man. What up, everybody? We in the building. We talking hours. Once again, that Drake album is fire. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna just put a couple of his videos on mute and we just gonna watch them, you know what I'm saying? But it's like once again, I think it's funny because I do follow folk that do reaction videos and somehow I don't know what that is. Like you just because you reacting to it, that you could like play the music and things like that. But yo, shout out to Drizzy, man. Once again, man, I put on one of my videos, his joint. Thanks, Dallas. It's been a privilege knowing you, bro. But I gotta run. Chat to you. Oh man, yo, Dallas, yo, have a great one, man. My bad, I slowed. You know what I mean? I'm in the crib now. I'm gonna throw on some stuff. But yo, Dallas, thank you, man. You have a great one. Have a good day. Stay blessed. And I appreciate your thumbs up and your sub, man. Thank you, pa. And yeah, man, have a great day, man. Your energy was well, needed. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, pa. Have a great one. Peace. Salute. But yeah, folk, I think if you listen to Drake's albums, I think if you take your time without bias, if you go into it, you know what I mean? You won't have a great one. But once again, Mortal Kombat. Can we talk about that, man? Mortal Kombat was fire to me. You know what I mean? Mortal Kombat 2, it's out in theaters now. Me and baby went to go see it yesterday. Had a great time. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know, you know. So let me just tell you what happened. So we go to Dollar Tree, we buy two 20 ounces, and I bought like maybe $10 worth of candy and stuff, right? And we put it in our bag and we snuck right in there and we drank our 20 ounce. Cause these movie theaters are going nuts, man. It's like almost $30 for like a small soda and a small popcorn. And half the time, if you do know, you don't eat all the popcorn anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, let's just sneak stuff in. Cause look, what really it is when you're in the theater, you just like to like hand grabs, right? You just want something, a little soda here. You watching something for 2 hours, an hour and a half. This ain't your kitchen, right? So yeah, man, we snuck in the stuff. It saved us a ton of money, and we saw Mortal Kombat 2, and it was a dope movie, man. It stuck to the script of the game. Noob Saibot was in it. Scorpion. They did the versions. I don't know if you remember, Mortal Kombat 10 or 11 did these versions of characters that they died and came back like as remnants and shit. They had that in the game. So Kano was back. I don't want to give too much, but Kung Lao. Let me just say the Kung Lao Liu Kang scene was fire. The um the Sonya Blade Sindel fire. Scorpion Noob Saibot, Johnny Cage a little bit. Jade fire. Jade fire. Um Katana and Shao Kahn fire. They actually had my boy damn the movie was crazy. They called my man that's all white with the Kano called him a white dildo, bro, in the movie, man. I forgot his name, man. But yeah, that guy's in the movie, man. But what up, folk? How y'all doing, man? We still not music, but others content you can react and oh, and you've been added commentary, so it's not now yours. Oh, so as long as it's not like if it's like the real video and I'm adding my commentary to it, right, Christy? It's considered my thingy now, right? As long as I'm just adding something over that beat and not just listening to the song fully, right? Something like you just I read it like that, right? But thank you for that. You know what I mean? So what's gonna happen is I think I'm gonna start maybe streaming on the laptop where I could, finesse a little bit. But I'm gonna put something in the background right now. Once again, I'm gonna put like one of Drake's videos and yeah, man. Um, yeah, man. Yo, my man. And if you don't know, yeah, it's fair use. If you don't know, Drake, um, yo, so this is National Treasure, everybody. It's fair use. You know what I mean? I'm reacting to this. This is one of my other joints. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. Drake released 3 albums, but I think the Iceman is the album, right? We could all agree that the Iceman is that joint. And I think, the other ones, one is like a R&B and one is like a dance, like, yo, woo, fire, bro. So yeah, man. National Treasure, right? And then I'm gonna just give you uh this one right here, Janice. Yo, one of my favorite joints. Oh, let me get away from that. But yo, good looking. Thank you, Christy. Oh, let me reverse this. Sorry, y'all. This is why now I know why people have like people with them so they could just hit a button, it switches the camera. You know what I mean? You do need a team, you know what I'm saying? But thank you. I appreciate that knowledge, you know what I mean? Like I don't want folk I need folk to understand that I'm really trying to, do this the best I can solo, right? And I think, I'm doing as, good as I can, right? No complaints, right? But it does take a lot. Like I don't think people understand that. Hence the reason why they pay, right? Because I think it is like a thing. Hold on. Let's do it like this. Yo, this is fire. Woo! This is my joint right here. Woo! Yup. So this one is called Janice Fuck Up, but it is one of my favorite joints. It bumps, it has a great melody. And if you don't know, this is why when 50 Cent was rapping, he won. Because 50 Cent says something in one of his interviews that I thought was amazing. He said, um, yo, other countries, they don't know our words. They don't know English. So they listen to melody. And when he said that, now when you hear 50 Cent's music, G Units, it has a lot of melodic, it's your birthday. So even if you don't understand the words, you still, so yo, he really nailed it. So we went to the Navajo tribe and they had a cool little store. And we bought, like, once again, this little chain that had the scorpion in it. You know what I mean? It's a real live scorpion. We got another one that had a real live ladybug. And obviously, if you don't know, it, magnify this so it looks a little bit bigger. It does look like a big bug though, I ain't gonna lie. But they somehow encased bugs in like that thing, so it was pretty cool. Yeah, the music would catch you though. You'll get copyright and they own the money from the stream. But yes, other content, yes. Wow, I didn't know that too. Hopefully my shit goes in and out. But that's why, like, I'm learning, and if you don't know, YouTube has a lot of little ways that they could own your stuff or make you delete it, or I was gonna say it's huge, right? Yeah, nah, I got you. I already know that. Like I said, it's bugged out. That's why I always used to like look, make your money how you make it, but I always thought when you see reaction videos, those guys are like that's criminal. Like it's them in the corner reacting to a video somebody took their time to make, right? So like, and some of these guys make more than the actual dude that streamed it. So that's where I'm like, that is wild, bro. You know what I mean? But then if you know, if you don't know, if you know the world, that's what they want. They want people that have reaction videos. So when you listen to them, you don't have to listen to Drake's album. You just take their word. Instead of playing the actual game, you just listen to a review dude and then take his freaking word. That's why I don't like review or people that have uh their word could change your way of, oh, I wanted to go see that movie on Friday. Oh, this guy said it's a 5.6 tomatoes. Oh, let's not, and then go find out 2 years later, oh, I knew the movie was dope, but like, yo, nope. I view the movie. I listen to the music. I go and see for myself. Then I make my opinion. I'm not gonna take some, whatever. Shout out to y'all that does do reviews and reactions. But once again, man, you're steering a large direction of kids or viewers into believing that your word is God, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. And a lot of people are biased. A lot of people do take sides. A lot of people, you understand me? Like, look at academics, how he talks about little baby, and yo, he be, and it's just wow, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you could steer people's opinions via your words. Words are powerful, man. So that's why I always never like, review people. Cause yo, this is a perfect example, man. There was a game that came out. A lot of people sharded on it. You know what I'm saying? They closed the company. This is what I mean about today. Like, we can't, you know how, maybe 20 years ago, if we spoke with our wallets, it would have worked. Now, these mother suckers will close the business down and leave this town. Oh, you don't want to spend money at Target? Fine, we're gonna just close it instead of lowering the prices, or instead of, right, just doing things a humane way. And I'm not saying Target, I'm just saying in general, right? Instead of doing these basic like little things, they will rather close the store than lower the price. They will rather take a L than, and people don't understand. Oh, now they save on the rent they were paying for that building. All this nonsense, man. And it goes to music all the way down the line, man. Even politics, man. You listen to folk, you gonna think that they know better. You know, a random Breakfast Club had this lady, Shashane. Her name was Dr. Shashane, something weird like that, right? She was a doctor, claiming to be a doctor. And then on this Breakfast Club interview, they just asked, "Yo, where's your credentials? Let me see." And she gave a spiel on how the college closed. They don't have the records, but she graduated. She's a doctor. Don't worry. Don't worry. You don't have to see my diploma. And a lot of people are like looking her up and figuring out that, yo, she is not a doctor, man. You know what I mean? Because it actually burns real doctors that did the 4 years, then you graduate, then you have to put another 6 years in it. So basically, by the time you're 26, 27, you're getting out of doing your years for that PhD. So that's a hard even the people that are valedictorians that got their masters, that's a lot of feet that, it's a, academic, um, it's a prestigious academic acknowledgement that, yo, you was a person that had the discipline and resources, even if you don't, you got debt now, but to put in that work and complete, college and so on. So I always appreciated folk that, you know what I'm saying? 1111, I love you, babe. But I always appreciated folk that, you know, put more effort into, learning and being educated as opposed to, maybe, I don't know, entrepreneurship or something. But it takes a lot, man. Cause I damn sure remember I didn't like science and a little bit of math. When math started getting into like calculus and 6y plus bw equal 5, I was like, oh no, this is not me. This is whoa. No, no, no. This ain't $8 over here, you know what I'm saying? And then when science was like, you know, it was economics and I think chemistry. You know, I like biology, but chemistry with the periodic table, there was a lot of shit that bugged me out. You know what I mean? Too much overwhelms a dollar. You heard? But yeah, man. Once again, listen to that Drake album. We chilling. We hit the 10 ball a long time ago. I know I'm slowing getting my win back. You know what I mean? That journey. And then if you don't know, on Saturday we went to San Diego, to do something else, which is about, 6 hours. And but we had our little grandson with us, man, and it was fun. Little baby. I'm just gonna say little baby, man. And yeah, man, he's a joy, man. We have so much fun with him. You know what I mean? His energy, right? When kids have that energy, something in your head is like, "Yo, chill, stop running," but you're like, "No, run, have fun." You know what I mean? So he has an amazing energy. I played horse with my cousins, and I lost, so it was fun. I had a great, and then yesterday we went to go see Mortal Kombat 2. So I had a good weekend. Once again, moving, doing things, and just doing what has to be done, let's just say. But I always enjoy it. I have a great time. I have a good partner to enjoy it with. So yeah, man. What up, y'all? What y'all did during y'all weekend, man? Everybody good? I know we missed Nene D. Black ain't here. Fan Bow was in the building. We had Christy. We still, you know what I mean? So we moving, we grooving, you know what I mean? We talking hours. But once again, I think everybody should listen to that Drake album. You might find one album out of the bunch that is, your favorite, maybe. Who knows? But you definitely gonna find some music that you're gonna like. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? And it's wild, man. It's wild how many uh how many people he dissed. And I love how, when you get hated, the hate is real, man. So even though I notice his numbers looking slow, meaning not bots, people still are like, yo, he's paying for bots. I'm like, no. Because let me tell you, there was a time period like 10 years ago that every Post Malone, every Drake, Taylor Swift, these things unforgettable hit 1 billion streams, and I want to know how much of that were bots, because now when some of these artists drop music, I don't know if it's not that many people on YouTube anymore, or I don't know what it is, man. But they need to bring back the thumbs down to let folk know that what they're doing is unapprovable. And and I don't know. Because once again, Drake has a video where he goes into a warehouse, and you see a bunch of phones, basically bots doing, and it was bugged out. Like they were even tweeting, LOL when he got, his bodyguard got shot outside his crib, or when, they fraudulently called him a Pete. You know what I'm saying? A lot of nonsense was happening, man, that really affected his life, man. And I bet they don't even have to be the ones buying them views. It's probably fans. And that's a weird thing, right? It's not even them. They just, doing a project, being an artist, and hopefully seeing what happens. But you have groups of people literally in these weird apartments. It could be a person right next door to you that literally they call it bot farms, and they have like a bunch of old phones on plugged in. Your electric bill must be through the roof. But long story short, they program these phones to respond to videos, to like certain things, and then the bot is weird. It grows a mind of its own, and it just goes out there, starts doing things, starts posting. In fact, it starts manipulating the numbers on the algorithm. It steers where YouTube is going sometimes, because it piles so much information. A human can't do that. You know what I mean? Even if we have collectively all of us, you know what I mean? Bots are, faster, man. And all you need to do is make sure that the phone is on, a couple of fans so the phone don't heat up, and that thing is doing its own thing, man. But it's bugged out. I didn't know how dangerous and how much, and the scary thing is some of these guys, probably died or whatever, and they got these machines just still alive. As long as it has power, these things will still tweet, text, the scam, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Yeah, man, this world got bugged out. That's why I'm saying we need to slow down with AI. One of the coolest things I seen, random, was a company in China. They're developing a car. Check this out, y'all. That it has suspension in it. That if you had a flat tire on your left side, left front tire, it will elevate, and you could pop your tire out without doing that. So that was fire. And I even think to the point where it could drive on three tires. It's wild, man. China's doing some ish. And this is what I mean where I think if you're gonna utilize AI, if you're gonna utilize technology, um let it benefit us. Stop replacing us. That's the thing that the world's doing. It's replacing humans with artificial intelligence. No, we don't want to get replaced. We want the item or whatever to help us. Like when the vacuum came out, like when the microwave came out, or a VHS tape player, or a CD player, or a Blu-ray disc, right? These things were technology, but they didn't replace us. They just allowed us to view or do things a little bit better. That's what Alexa was really supposed to be for. You come into your house, Alexa, turn on my lights. Alexa, heat up my tub. Alexa, what's popping? How's the weather tomorrow, right? It was supposed to be this little like friendly program that allowed you to utilize things in your house that were connected via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, right? But we don't want AI to replace us. Enough with the kiosk. We don't need kiosk everywhere we go. Yeah, McDonald's, you got away with it. Wendy's, a lot of places, fast food have a kiosk where you order your food and you don't talk to a human no more, right? But I'm gonna go. Let's go. John Starks, man. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, LaMelo Ball. But yeah, man, we want you guys to develop technology that advances our, like, almost like cyborgs. Like if I could get an arm that replaces my shoulder, my whatever, just things that merge with us instead of replacing us. And I think that's where they're getting lost. You know what I mean? They don't understand how powerful this thing truly is. And stop building data centers. We don't need data centers destroying our water supply and destroying the grass and the greenery around it because of the electric waves and the whatever radiation it produces. Stop. Stop it, Five. But yeah, man. China developed this cool truck, man. Look it up. And it allows you to change your tire without jacking it up. So shout out to that, man. But once again, I hope everybody's doing good. This is my time back. Once again, I'm getting my energy back. It's been really active. Something, there's things that happen in my life that, what I mean, just happen by circumstance. And I always say that, God tries to put me through tests and makes me, he tries to push me to crossing that line, but I don't. You know what I mean? I remain solid, I remain blessed, I remain positive, and I stay on my course. I know a lot of times you guys be like, Zay, I'm doing my thing, and you see the devil working overtime, don't he? Right? He'll put you in a situation where, he tries to make you snap, or tries to make you crash out, or tries to make you pick through friends, or weird things have been happening lately, and I think it's, once again, it's the unveiling of fake to truth, right? We're seeing who's real, who's honest, and who's behaving like a civilized human being, and we're also seeing the other side of the coin of the animality to it. People with animalistic behaviors, people not being able to talk English but could grunt and moan, and they still can communicate with each other, right? So it's bugged out, man. Life is life, and but I appreciate everybody rocking with the kid. It's always a beautiful journey. We talk hours. Um, there was a nice little, piece of my audience not here, but I'm still doing me. I did say that I want tomorrow, if everybody's here. What up, Zach? How you doing, pa? What's up, Christy? What's up, Juan? You're, of course, Juan. You always back. Perfect timing award. We talking about Drake album. If you have anything to say about it, what up, Juan? How was your weekend? How you been? How you doing, Christy? Hope everybody had a great weekend. But talk to me, y'all. How was y'all weekend, man? Did anybody do anything, out of the regular? You know what I mean? Jose, hot outside, man. Oh, so a lot of people are saying that wherever you guys located, the weather is, that sun is sunning, right? That sun, it feels like it's in your pocket now. But back in the days, the sun, let me tell you guys, the sun used to be sunning, but it used to not be this radiations heat, right? This heat now burns you. This heat now is like AC. Go inside. Like it's not playing no more, right? So ooh wee man. I did tons of stuff. Talk to me, I me, Ham. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Cuzzo, what's up, everybody? I hope everybody doing good. Stay blessed, stay focused. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the love, man. We having our complete conversation and we doing it, man. I'm from Arizona. That's what's up, man. We drove through Arizona, and what I hear, Arizona gets hot, man. It really does. It really does. Weekend was cool, chilling with the fam. That's what's up, Juan. I haven't gotten much of that sun up this way yet, waiting on it. No, yo, you know what I always tell people? People go, what would you rather, hot or cold? And I know, cold could get cold, right? But so far, the cold we've been dealing with, I could double socks, put on boots, put some, long johns with the pants, and I'm good. With the heat, if you're not, think about it like this: the gasoline costs crazy, and you want me to use my AC because it's so like, yo, and you have to use the AC. You ever opened your window and all you're getting is hit with hot air, like hot, nasty, like this, yo, the sun is, I feel like it is, it's at a, like in June, May, late May, June, July, it's centered somewhere where it's like, like beaming right to earth, man. I know it does depend how cold, but I always say, like, like even when it's cold, I always put my foot out the blankie. Like I always, I don't know, there's something about the cold, and I like it. Like when you were younger, this sucks, but I knew it needed to be done. When you're in your little toasty blankie, and your mom was like, "Go to school," and then you get out of the bed, and it's like you're like, whoa, let me get dressed quick, brush my teeth, you know what I mean? Get the hot cocoa going with the marshmallows. So shout out to cold, man. But heat, there's something about heat. I know when you're indoors, but I feel like heat cost. Like, fire is free. I don't know. I don't know. I always say, like, you know what I mean? Like to put your AC on and then it could blow the electric grids and shit because a lot of people that's how blackouts happen. A lot of folk are using ACs and it like, it causes, you know what I mean? The grid to explode. I know, right? There is something about that cool breeze coming with the foot out, with the blankies on, and it's such a comfortable, relaxing, like, ugh, I'm just gonna go to sleep and enjoy them dreams right now. You know what I mean? And the older you get, you do crash, right? You know what I mean? I love cool air sleeping with blankets, yup. AC going into it, freezing in the winter. Yup. I know, I got you. It is. But that's what's up, Juan. You chill with the fam bam, you know what I mean? It's always good chilling with the family, man. We need more of that, you know what I mean? And I understand they did the world funky because if folks don't understand, back in the days when immigrants or whoever came to this place, this country, you know what I mean? They moved together. So all the family was in this neighborhood or this neighborhood and they all went to go get jobs and build in that little area, right? But now, depending on, the economy, your uncle loses his job, he has to go down west or go down south or go over here. You know what I mean? So we really, family used to be, close knit. Now we're spread all over. But it's dope. Mingling with family, that's exactly what we did, man. We drove to San Diego. I played horse with the cousins, lost. The little baby was having fun, running around. So it's good times, man. It's good times. And I always say, my moms used to always say, Papi, when you have a kid, it's no longer about you. And I really understood that. Like, and not like you could kiss your dreams goodbye, but there's a sacrifice that comes to raising kids that I don't think a lot of parents understand, right? There's a huge sacrifice you do. And hopefully the love you give your kid will reciprocate via him or her getting a good job and later down the line taking care of you. But you have to, sacrifice and love your kids, you know what I mean? Just for that simple, like, I got to put a hold on my life. It's about this little person right now. But yeah, folk, what up, everybody? We chilling, we maintaining. I'm maxing, relaxing. We gonna go back outside and enjoy that weather. You know what I mean? But once again, to my audience, I think I'm gonna start doing like a 1, 2 o'clock jammy, and we'll go from there. Tomorrow will be the test run. I just want to see if I collectively get more or less audience viewers. You know what I mean? But look at that, y'all. Look who's eating. Look, look at that color. Now you know why my thing is so messy. These guys, look, I left a little grape up there for him. Teach me, baby. Look at my little guy, man. Look at my son Dula. Sorry, my dude. I gotta go, man. Look, as soon as I touch this door, look, whoop, he out of here. You saw that? Word, man. I had these on the feet right here. Check out these sneakers, man. These are like some summer. Once again, like Air Force Ones always get like they get that crease. But I had like the peach, the pink shorts. Cause y'all ain't lying. This weather is buggy. It's back and forth. Let me put this, and I left like a thing of water out for the. So look, oh yeah, look. So I left a little mango, and then these are my plants. We put pot so we could put that one has some wild, and of course Atomo, and we got Goober and the rest of the guys still ticking. You know what I mean? But damn, man, birds love to just like, and then throw the food. Like it's crazy. But what up, bro? My bad, man. Tomorrow I'm gonna be a little bit better, man. I dealt with something yesterday. My energy was a little bit off, but tomorrow we're gonna be cooking. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have more. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be more into it. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm just a little bit cooked. I got laundry. I got things on my mind, and I'm just trying to get back in order. You know what I mean? But what up, folk? I hope everybody doing good. We maintaining. We hit the 13. Imagine if I hit the 15 ball. What up, folk? You know what I mean? I get hype, man. I really do. I love and enjoy when I get my thumbs up because it means that, you know what I mean? Whatever I'm saying is moving. But what up, folk? I got my little chain, the little scorpion joint. Gonna smoke some of the cigarette, maintain, cut my hair, cut myself. This side is a little bit shady, but not bad, not bad. You know what I'm saying? Not bad. Shaved up, left a little mustachio here. What up, though? So yeah, man, the Knicks won. They were waiting for whoever won between Detroit and Cavaliers. Right now, my boy told me it's gonna be. Frank said it's gonna be the Cavs against the Knicks, and then we're gonna have the Spurs against OKC. And in my book, it's gonna be Spurs. Like he said, it might be Spurs Knicks, man. And I truly think in my heart that they gonna give it to the Knicks. Like I think the NBA needs to show that other teams that work hard could win. Because lately the team that won was just because they had the height and some defense. And that's why, I always like the West sometimes because the West always had the Twin Towers, you know, Robinson and Duncan. They always had big folk on and Wemby is just another testament to that the Spurs always had these tall folk on their team, man. But Wemby is nasty, man. Shout out to Wemby, man. Wembyana. I like his name too, very original and yeah, different, man. But he plays like a point guard, my son. Long ass arms and legs, man. And he's a rookie. Give him some time. He gonna beef up. He gonna get that, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember when Shaq was a little bit more beefier, but a lot of people that come in, they usually are skinny folk, and then, they build into their regimen that muscular and, put on that weight. But yeah, y'all, fucking Drake album was fire. Once again, that Iceman I think from the beginning of that album all the way to the end, that shit flowed to me, man. And he gave us a video for each joint, which is, costly, and it worked, man. I like it. I like it a lot, man. I really do. And mind you, hip hop wasn't giving us any dope projects. people don't understand that, Chris Brown, a lot of other artists released albums during that time. ASAP Rocky, this one, that one. Kanye West, even with Bully came and went. At least Iceman was still talking about it. But I remember when Bully released, people talked about it for maybe 1 or 2 days, and that was it. And that's Kanye West, bro. That project was dope. But I don't know what's happening to the listeners. I don't know what's happening to music in general. Folks aren't caring about shit. Isn't that bugged out? We used to care about some things. Motherfuckers don't care about shit no more. But I'm gonna stop with the smoking shit too. You know what I'm saying? Slow down. But yeah, man, to me, that Drake album, Iceman, all the way to that, Habibi joint, that shit was tough, man. All track listings, all, from this one to that one, just amazing. You know what I'm saying? So give it up to Drizzy for that one, man. The Iceman. And low key, I never knew this about Drake. That like if you listen to a lot of his music, he low key was dissing a lot of folk, man. And live and in real time, man. IRL. In real life. But yeah, man, music is back, man. I'm into my music scene, I always was, you know what I mean? And I like Future's new look. He cut the dreads off, he got his blonde hair. Future was another great artist because of his melodic, his ways of, with the melody and knowing how to, heighten or lower. That's why people like Thug, because Thug, I don't know if it was luck or the lean, but he knew how to hit, right? But yeah, man, shout out to Future, man. A lot of folks don't understand. Yes, the rap game, just like life, you get older, but it doesn't mean you should stop making music. It doesn't mean we shouldn't support these folk, these guys. You know what I mean? Because I tell you this, they make better music than that drill stuff. I really got tired of every song. Everybody was smoking a pack of somebody and disrespecting at the most high, right? That shit wasn't gonna be good energy. You saw how many deaths it caused. And I'm waiting for summer to hit. Cause summer is when folks are trying to do barbecues, we outside, we chilling. If you listening, you too yellow. But yeah, man, it's fucking crazy how much like music or the culture really changed how people move, man. A lot of folk are angry. A lot of folk are like, waiting for that one person to trip them up so they could just, wild out, crash out, like they say. But holy, man, that music was really on demon time, man. Demonic time. But I don't know if you guys saw, I saw some shit. I want to say it was Yemen, but the Muslims have a free Dirk. I was like, what? Yo, they got a sign free Dirk because Dirk was into his Muslim Assalamu alaikum joint. So they was like, yo, free Dirk. We love him. And I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy, man. You know what I mean? But a lot of Muslims, if you don't play with their religion and you really take it serious, wake up in the morning, do their prayer, do fasting, go to various places, Mecca and stuff like that. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, I'm bugged out, man. I'm slowing. You know what I mean? Maybe I gotta smoke something. But yeah, something happened yesterday that I don't want to say, but it kind of got me off. You know what I mean? But it was something that shouldn't have happened, let's just say. But yo, I'm about to hit the 15 ball. What the fuck going on? What up, yeah? I'm still here, man. Still maintaining, still grooving, still $8. What the fuck going on, man? I'm chilling, boy. It's just like I said, my energy, for some reason, I woke up and then I ate that motherfucking McDonald's sandwich, almost gave me the itis, baby. That 44 hitting me, man. But that's why I stay doing my push-ups and like at least calisthenics, man, because like you never know, man. Your body really do slow up. You know what I mean? You really do age, and you start. I noticed once, like the way I got off the car the other day, I was like, "Holy shit, nigga!" I used to get out. You know what I mean? And now I'm getting out like, oh man, status and shit. But what up, y'all? Talk to me, man. I'm maintaining, man. I'm about to just cut this, man. I'm so sorry, everybody. Y'all have a great one. You already know $8, $8 random. We outside, we inside. You know what I mean? And we everywhere. The fuck going on, y'all? We hit the 15 ball. That's what's up, man. That's a great way to. Oh, somebody took it back. Y'all motherfuckers. But yo, that was a great way to end it with the 15 ball, man. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody rocking with me. We had a couple of new guys, new subs. Um, I'm gonna go work on some videos. I got a low rider video coming out. I'm looking for the right song to put with it. You know what I mean? I appreciate you guys liking the bird video. It looked like he was bing bang bang. So yeah, man, I'm working. I'm doing the most I can, and I just want everybody to know that. And I'll see you tomorrow. And I told y'all I'm gonna leave a post saying that, yo, I think I'm gonna come on at like 1 o'clock, and we're gonna work from there and see how everything evolves and revolves. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody. Thank you for subbing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for journey that y'all riding with me, and you know what I'm saying, just being a part of this activity that we're doing. But yo, everybody stay blessed, stay up. You know what I mean, and stay safe. It's $8 random. You know what the fuck going on? We outside, we inside, we everywhere. I'm outside, nigga. What up? Thank you for that, man. Appreciate every